Head of the World Health Organization says Ebola is spreading rapidly in the Congo.
There are now almost 750 suspected cases and 177 suspected deaths.
But measures taken in Uganda appear to be helping in preventing the further spread of the virus there. He says an American national working in the DRC has been confirmed positive and taken to Germany for care.
We're also aware of another American national who has been transferred to the Czech Republic.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Pushback on Capitol Hill over potential taxpayer-funded payouts to President Trump's allies, who claim they were wronged by the Biden administration. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
The nearly $1.8 billion fund created by the Justice Department to compensate people who say they were targeted by government actions is drawing intense pushback from Democrats.
This administration is acting as if the American people are their ATM.
And now a growing number of Republicans, like North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, who calls the fund, quote, a payout pot for punks.
A possible clue into the death of a racing legend, Fox NASCAR, with the sound of Kyle Busch asking for medical attention 2 weeks ago.
And can somebody try to find Bill Heisel? He's the Hendrick doctor guy. Tell him I need him after the race, please. Hey, do you want Mr. Bill at your car and at your bus after the race? Bus. I'm going to need a shot.
He told reporters later he had a substantial cough. He told Fox this past Sunday.
Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is.
Bush died yesterday at the age of 41. After 99 years, we're turning out the lights for good here at CBS News Radio tonight. World News Roundup anchor Steve Kathan sat down with CBS's Mark Strassman.
What do you think America will miss most about it? It's been around for a long time. Really, an American institution is what we're losing here. And I think people will notice that.
It's been a reliable companion for generations. Now this American institution will lose its voice.
Now credit where credit is overdue. My copy editor's been the incomparable Matt Cherry. On assignment, the amazing Patricia Corrigan. Desk associate who's made everything possible, Maggie Pecknick. My gratitude to each and every one of you. And for one last time, this is CBS News Radio.
I want to know what's going on in the world.
I'm Tony.
There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers.
How are you?
I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening.
Carpal tunnel.
Auburn police are searching for a suspect who shot a teenager on a bus. But first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Crash on eastbound 520 getting across the lake by Foster Island. That's just east of Montlake. Traffic isn't too bad. The crash is in the right lane. The rest of the map looks clear. Federal Way to Seattle about 40 minutes. Renton to Bellevue 26 minutes. Everett to Seattle 40 minutes. It doesn't seem like the Memorial Day getaway traffic has taken off just yet. This traffic report is brought to you by Harnish Auto Family. The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale through May 31st. Exclusive deals, zero down, and no payments all summer long. Approval of credit in Puyallup and Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A search is underway for the suspect in the shooting of a 17-year-old boy on a Metro bus in Auburn. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha is in Auburn.
The bus was going through this area when the shooting happened on its route. Last night, we saw police on the bus as they collected evidence and started this investigation.
We believe that there's at least one suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other. So we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
Now, there was a handful of people on the bus at the time of the shooting, according to police, traveling through this residential area of Auburn, and police are looking at cameras on the bus as well as maybe cameras in this area to try to get more details.
The Pierce County man accused of killing his girlfriend and disposing of her body was in court Thursday afternoon to face a murder charge, even though her body still has not been found. We get the latest from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
30-year-old Kendrick Deshaun Bruce pleaded not guilty to a murder charge, and bail was set at $2 million. The victim went missing April 1st. Detectives initially arrested Bruce for identity theft and felony harassment. He was released, but after further investigation, Bruce was rearrested Wednesday for first-degree murder. Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd explains a murder charge with no body.
As long as you meet your elements of your crime, that's what they need
needed. And so they were able to obtain that, and prosecutor's office was on board.
The search for the victim is ongoing. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The King County Prosecutor's Office released surveillance video showing the minutes before a University of Washington student was stabbed to death in an off-campus apartment building. 31-year-old Christopher Leahy is seen entering the laundry room at the Nordheim Court Apartments on May 10th, where he briefly speaks with a woman who held the door open for him.
Thanks. Sorry about that. Oh, my clothes in here.
They leave, and later in the video, Juniper Blessing is seen sitting on the floor. Leahy re-enters, looks directly at the camera, and walks outside before the video ends. Prosecutors say he unplugged the camera before the assault. The medical examiner says she was stabbed more than 40 times. The video is available at mynorthwest.com. This Memorial Day weekend, expect long lines on the ferries.
Be prepared for what is expected to be a very busy Memorial Day holiday weekend. And just to be kind to our employees. They're working hard through the holiday weekend, to safely move all of you and us to where we need to be to celebrate.
Justin Vigioco with the State Department of Transportation says 350,000 people are expected to be on the ferry system between Thursday and Monday. You'll wait a whole lot less if you ride early or late. Now to your KIRO News Radio weather. It's mainly sunny and warm on this Friday. Highs will be in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Even some spots will get close to 80 in the south. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, it is Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It's also Flex Fridays. It's all kinds of going on here on the show. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Yeah, yes. It is a big travel day heading into the Memorial Day weekend, but we are going to be here for you to keep you company. Coming up at 9:47, as you mentioned, it is a Flex Friday, and we're going to share our update. And I am feeling a little guilty about something, so I'm going to share why that is. But I'm not giving up. Not giving up. Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Their desperate pleas for help seem to be working. After hearing from angry neighbors, like one that I'm hoping that you're going to be able to hear here shortly, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says SPD is going to send more officers into the area along Aurora Avenue. This was one of the neighbors who spoke to her.
You're a mom. You don't want the blood of these babies on your hands.
And these angry neighbors are coming together after a shootout between alleged pimps spilled over onto Linden Avenue, 1 block off the busy corridor. Neighbors tell KIRO 7 TV they have just spent months warning city leaders about escalating violence tied to sex trafficking and crime in the area. Now the city says more patrols are coming. Investigators are going to be increasing their enforcement efforts, and police are going to be also using ballistic evidence to connect shootings across the area. But as you can imagine, G, frustrated neighbors say the bigger question is, why did it take so long?
Right. Last week, we talked about it, Ursula, we talked about how city council member Bob Kettle, he had put out the release out there and how he wants, and he set a number, and the goal was for 1,250 officers for SPD to have by the end of the year, right? That's the number, and they said, hey, that's what we are wanting to go get. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, because while, yes, hey, Mayor Katie Wilson, this is a great job. I love the fact that the idea is to move officers to Aurora. I think we can all agree with that. It needs to be done. But the unfortunate part is this. At the end of the day, it's still shuffling officers to the block. You're still borrowing officers from here to bring them there, right? So you can say yes to, hey, yeah, let's deploy, let's shuffle, let's move officers. The real yes is going to be when it's time for that budget. You see what I'm saying? When it's time for the budget, right now the city is staring down $175 million in that situation. So let me just tell you this. You don't get to 1,250 officers on a wish and a prayer. You get there with them dollars. So all I'm saying is it feels like the motion is, you know what, G, you're right. We're going to make sure we have officers there. And right now we are shuffling and borrowing.
Yes. And the reason, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The reason they're shuffling and borrowing. So, and this was actually put out by Councilmember Deborah Juarez's office. She represents that particular district that covers Aurora. And she points out that Seattle's population today is more than 800,000. That is a nearly 9% increase since 2020. But back in 2020, SPD had 1,200 officers. Today, the city has 861 officers who can be deployed, which is a nearly 30% drop. So you're exactly right, G. They're setting the stage because it's like we need to get – the goal is to get back up to officers. And why did a bunch of them leave? A bunch of them left because there were previous council members who were not very supportive. I mean, that was one of a number of things, but that was repeated over and over again, this feeling like, hey, we're not being supported, defund the police, and that whole garbage. So Deborah Juarez says she and her staff will be also working with the city attorney's office and the King County prosecuting attorney's office to explore more ways to address sex trafficking. But remember, city attorney Erica Evans was against the soap zone. So I'm curious as to how that's going to go. They're also talking about working at the state level for an increase in penalties for the Johns who are paying these sex workers. I also want to point out that for anyone who says, well, we just need to legalize prostitution, many of the people who are being sex trafficked there along Aurora Avenue are kids, 14 years old.
Right. To extend our conversation, you said back in 2020 there was 1,200. And today there's 861. Okay. So, and I just want to remember, so if there's 861 officers that are trying to do the job of 1,200 and some officers, just remember this, the next time we have in the top stories and there's a headline about, oh my goodness, why is SPD getting all this overtime? The main reason why there's so much overtime is because you got a lot of officers that's left trying to do the job of 1,200. And also remember, in the city of Seattle, in all major cities, when sporting events happens, there is a major requirement on the number of officers. We have the Storm here. True. We have, we have the Mariners here. We have the World Cup coming. So just remember, in order to have a sporting event, like the NFL does not kick off unless there's a certain amount of officers, snipers, all those things, the Storm, all these things. So you have all of these sporting events where you have to have mandatory workers. Yeah. So therefore, they're stretched even more thin. Right. And then guess what that overtime does? Yeah, it goes up. And so I just want to remember that. So hopefully, going forward, the goal is 1,250 officers. Like Bob Kettle said, I didn't say it.
Okay, realistically, it ain't going to happen by the end of this year.
And neither is those 500 shelter beds either that was promised. Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad that the mayor and the city council members are responding, because what is happening on Aurora up there in North Seattle is not okay. Also not okay. Actually, extremely disturbing story out of Southwest Washington. Did you hear about this, G? The superintendent of Longview Public Schools has now been arrested in connection with an investigation into alleged sexual assaults involving students at Mark Morris High School. Police say district leadership may have known about the allegation for days, even weeks, before police were contacted. Investigators say one student was allegedly dragged into a team room, pinned down, partially stripped, and then assaulted by teammates. 2 students are already facing rape and other felony charges. But now the focus has shifted to the adults. Police say Superintendent Karen Cloninger is accused of trying to keep the situation in-house instead of immediately reporting it to authorities. And she now faces charges including witness tampering, failure to report, and obstructing law enforcement. These parents spoke with Fox 12 Oregon.
And the board has chosen to support the staff members instead of support the students and the families.
At this point, it's got to be a total recall of the school board, unfortunately. I think that the lack of responsiveness, particularly from the school board to make any kind of action during the investigation, felt frustrating, despite so many people reaching out saying that we would like her placed on leave, knowing that they were allowing people who were under investigation to continue to make decisions for our children was very upsetting and concerning to me. I don't know that there's any coming back from this point.
Investigators say school employees raised concerns about the mandatory reporting laws and were allegedly told, let's not discuss this incident any further. And then days after police say the district claimed it had handled the matter internally, a parent contacted law enforcement directly to report a sexual assault.
Back in 1979, there was this movie. Maybe you don't know the name of the movie. It was called Whenever a Stranger Calls, right? And you might not know the name of the movie, but if I say this particular thing, you're going to know what I'm saying. And in this, they say the call is coming from inside the house, right? Everybody knows that whole thing, right? Like the call, oh, hey, just so you know, you're calling for help. But just so you know, the call is coming from inside the house. We spend so much time in this country pointing the finger at the immigrant, undocumented immigrant, the stranger. We point our fingers at the trans community. We point our finger at all these folks. But sometimes the call is coming from inside the house. Sometimes some of the same people that we trust, they have keys to the building. They have badges. They have the responsibility to protect our children. And then we're fixated or look at them. But sometimes it's coming from right here. This story is gross. Some of the alleged details are nasty, pinned down, locker room, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to make a real focus. We need to make sure that the call isn't coming from inside the house like this nasty story.
It's absolutely infuriating. You send your kids to school, you expect them to be protected, not assaulted, and then a crime is covered up, allegedly. If these things are true, the most disturbing part may not even be what happened in the locker room, which is extremely disturbing. But it is especially atrocious that adults in positions of authority tried to handle it quietly. Like, why? What are you trying to protect? The reputation of the school? Your reputation? I mean, that cannot happen ever. Mm-hmm. And I think it happens too often. Like, it is an abject failure of leadership. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask, because in our conversation this morning when we were talking about this story, and Chef had brought up, like, should we have more adults in locker rooms?
Yes.
Because it seems like there are a lot of things that happen in locker rooms growing up. And I'm wondering if you listening right now remember an incident when you were a kid of just horrible things happening.
I just want to apologize to you, Ursula, and to you all listening, because sometimes it feels like that when I talk about a topic, I go into the weeds. And the reason why is because every topic is connected. And when you have bad narratives out there, we suffer. What narrative am I talking about? How long did we and do we demonize teachers? We have been doing that. And when you do that, when budgets get cut, and of course, we're locked into needing levies to pass. So the answer to your question is yes, Ursula. We do need more adults in there. But the problem is that you still have a fraction of people that believe that, what do they do year round? All they do is take the summers off, and these teachers. No. So the answer to your question is yes, we do need more adults in the locker room, but we say that 1 minute and we can all agree. But when it's time for the budget to have money to pay these folks, we're against that. So you can't have it both ways. That's my problem with this topic. And so I don't mean to go out into the weeds, but I just want to bring that point up, is that we say we want one thing, but our actions say another.
And I totally hear what you're saying. But in this case, she was told this is happening. And then to allegedly make a conscious decision to just handle it internally.
Well, you asked me about more people in the locker rooms. I was talking about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, and I hear what you're saying. I definitely think we need to have more adult supervision because it seems like this is the kind of thing that goes through generations.
It does. I mean, Gee, you make a great point about budgets because teams often struggle and schools struggle with transition times. The reality of school sports is that you might have a coach who's coming from outside of school, or they're a teacher who has to transition from the classroom directly to an activity, and there may not be supervision for the locker room. That was certainly the case for my high school wrestling team. And like before the coach got there, the lights would go out the room and all kinds of stuff would happen. I don't want to go into it, but I'm sure many of you listening have stories from when the adults were not around.
Okay, let's talk about one more thing. We got time for one more thing. Seattle's war on cars debate. Well, it's back this morning. And apparently City Hall found the old switch again because we're talking about Lake Washington Boulevard. Okay, years ago, it started with Bicycle Sundays. So they would close down the boulevard. It's gorgeous if you don't know what I'm talking about. And cyclists and pedestrians would have access to the road during the summer on Sundays. No cars. During the pandemic, the city expanded that into full weekend closures for much of the summer until there were huge traffic headaches and a lot of people were complaining. And so they scaled it back. But now, according to the Seattle Times, Seattle is swinging back the other direction again. So this summer, large stretches of Lake Washington Boulevard will once again close to cars every weekend through Labor Day. And the city has now installed nearly 24 speed cushions along the route to slow drivers down. And some bike advocates are even pushing for a permanent ban on cars or dramatically lowering the speed limit. Again, we're talking about Lake Washington Boulevard below the current 25 miles per hour. But there is one local group that's saying City Hall is paying way too much attention and giving too much influence to the powerful bike lobby at the expense of the rest of the Seattleites who still have to rely on their cars.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I ain't going to do is get on the bad side of the bike folks. It's about two of y'all, but I'm not going to. I don't want that fight. I don't want that fight at all.
They're going to come at you with their pumps?
Yeah. But, I just want to say this. Don't you feel a little bit of extra joy when you're in situations where it's walkable?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I do. But you also have to ask, with what impact? And I think that there are many gorgeous places to ride your bike and also enjoy parks and have car-free areas without having such a dramatic impact, negative impact on traffic. And for all the road, and maybe I speak as someone who gets so frustrated with the road diets, the lane reductions, and bike lanes that I don't see being used when you're talking about 3% of Seattle commute trips are by bikers,
right?
Bicycle riders. So if you're a driver,
right,
you have to wonder why we're making all these changes for such a small segment of the population. Right. It hasn't changed over the years. It's still 3%.
Imagine that. Changes get made for a small population in this country. Since the beginning of time. By the way, Ursula, I just want you to know that this morning on SMN with Charlie and Manda, I have now officially retired the hole in the boat.
Oh.
I have a new one now.
Okay.
It's the seesaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the seesaw. Everything's about the seesaw.
Okay.
You guys remember? You ever play a seesaw? Has anybody ever jumped off the seesaw and made you come down?
That hurts.
That tailbone?
That hurts. And have you ever had the seesaw smack you in the face? That's happened too.
Jeez. That's trauma. Hey, coming up next, a master's degree isn't the job guarantee that it used to be. Next, Gee Ursula.
News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts for 34 years. Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. AAA says nearly 40 million Americans will be getting into the holiday destinations by car this year, and will be likely paying more for gas than last year. The national average today is $4.55 a gallon compared to last year when the price per pump was about $3.17. CBS's Skylar Henry is in Atlanta, and he asked gas expert Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy just how high gas prices might go this year.
Gas Buddy predicts the price tag could even reach a national average of $4.80 per gallon this summer.
For people driving for the holiday and beyond, DeHaan suggests shopping around at different gas stations for better prices. He also says that driving at cruise control just below the speed limit could actually help save you a gallon or two every time you fill up.
The city council president of Seattle is asking for something her predecessor calls unusual: 2 police officers stationed at every council meeting. The police department confirmed the request. Former council president Sarah Nelson tells the Jason Rand Show on Seattle Red 770 AM the chamber already has security on site.
They're supposed to deal with disturbances. Now, they don't have the right to lay hands on any protesters or anybody who's disrupting the meeting. And so there have been officers called in the past, but it's certainly not regular.
It's not clear why Council President Joy Hollinsworth made the request. We've reached out to her office for comment. SPD says volunteer officers on overtime will provide the security, but if they're not available, on-duty officers will be pulled from the street. A Republican state senator is urging Governor Bob Ferguson to temporarily suspend Washington's Climate Commitment Act as gas prices continue to rise due to the war in Iran. Senator Chris Gilden estimates that the suspending carbon cap program could cut about 55 cents off of every gallon of gas.
Experts down in Olympia tell me that could start having an impact on people's pockets within a matter of just a couple of weeks.
Supporters of the CCA say it's essential the meeting in the state's climate goals. We've reached out to the governor's office for comment. And the Pacific Northwest's largest theme park is about to kick off its final season. The park will open tomorrow and close for good on November 1st. Premier Parks, which operates Wild Wave, says rising costs since the pandemic have led to millions in losses, forcing them to shut down. The park employs more than 800 seasonal workers and 35 full-time staff. And for your KIRO News Radio traffic right now, it's not too bad. Federal Way to Seattle, 40 minutes. Rented to Bellevue, 26 minutes. Everett to Seattle, about 40 minutes right now. This traffic report is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. And for your forecast, it's looking good this Memorial Day weekend, mainly sunny. Highs will be in the upper 60s to mid-70s, even reaching 80 in some spots. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a fresh Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we often talk about education, higher education, and one question is it still worth it to get that college degree, or let's go even further, the master's degree or the MBA? Because for the longest time, the idea of the American dream was you get a college degree, you get a good job, you build a great life, you have a home, you have the kids, you have the picket fence, blah, blah, blah. But for people who still struggle to break into a career with a bachelor's degree, a lot of times it would be, well, let's go back to school and get more education. In many fields, a master's degree would be the golden ticket, and you'd have access to even more jobs. But now, according to a new Wall Street Journal report, the equation may be breaking down. So there's new data from the Burning Glass Institute that shows that unemployment for workers under the age of 35 with master's degrees is now near its highest level in the past 2 decades. Meanwhile, people with law degrees, medical degrees, and PhDs are actually seeing some of the lowest unemployment rates. So you might be asking, especially if you're thinking about a master's program, what has changed? Well, for one thing, master's programs have exploded in popularity. There are now more than 33,000 programs nationwide, including online MBAs, AI certificates, et cetera, et cetera. So there may simply not be enough high-paying jobs to justify all of those diplomas anymore. And you're looking at me wide-eyed, G, because this is something that you have talked about. Mm-hmm. And so now there's a labor economist saying that a master's degree used to be a signal that made you stand out, but when everybody has one, it just basically loses its value.
Michael Kors. I don't know if anybody knows that brand, Michael Kors. They got the watch, the purses. Yeah. Everything. Let me tell you guys something. So back in I think it was 2007, 2008, I thought Michael Kors was like, oh my goodness, this is the stuff. It was really cool. All that stuff.
It's a name brand.
It was name brand.
Shows prestige.
And I seriously loved it, right?
Yeah.
But then as Michael Kors started to go, they put an outlet down in Auburn, down there. There's an outlet up north, by near Tulalip. And so, Ursula, what started to happen with the Michael Kors stuff, it was just so much.
Saturation.
It was saturation, where everybody was starting to get it. So the value and how people look at Michael Kors started to change. Mm-hmm. Even though Michael Kors stuff, you don't understand because like it looks good. Mm-hmm. Why would people look at this any different? To which, I mean, I'm not really good at this business stuff, right? Like, I'm just learning. They came in and like, gee, the thing is, man, everybody can get the Michael Kors. Like, you can just get it for this price. Whereas before, 30, 40 years ago, for a master's degree, it was a narrow thing. Like, they didn't have online. Yep, you're right. You literally had to go somewhere. So it was specific. So if you got a master's degree, then it's like, oh my goodness. Now, today, you can get all of those things. Yeah, online here, Arizona, you can do it from home. Boom, boom, boom. Matter of fact, I could even, you watch this, I can go to work and pay Ian to do my stuff. I know, y'all don't think it happens. I can pay Ian to go online and take my master's degree course. The thing is, Ursula, the master's degree key, imagine a key, right? The key used to open doors. Mm-hmm. That key today, everybody got a key. So when everybody has a key, that key ain't as special. So somehow, some way, today, 35 years, the unemployment rate for 35 years and younger with a master's degree is higher.
Yeah. So it comes as no shock. I mean, and for people who, I see it quite a bit because my sons are now one turns 26 next month and the other one's turning 30. But a lot of people in their groups have decided either, well, I want to sit out the job market and I'm going to go back to school with the idea of, hey, it's going to mean that I'm going to have an opportunity to make more money or I'm going to be seen as more valuable, et cetera, et cetera. But now they have a real, I don't want to say choice, but kind of a dilemma. It's like you can't just say, well, I'm going to go in there. You've really got to weigh, what are you going to get out of it? If you go with the idea of, I just like getting more education and I'm willing to pay, even if it doesn't mean that I'm going to necessarily get more access to XYZ, with the exception of certain fields, just have to know that with eyes wide open going in.
You want to know that I said this morning before you got here today, Ursula. I wrote it down this morning. You want to know the best way to know that opportunity is not equal? Charge for it. You see, what happened was back in the day, there's only a small amount of people that can have access to that master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Today, a lot of people have access to that master's degree.
Mm-hmm. You're not special anymore.
So
if you
now
have
the key is different,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because before only a certain amount of people had the key. Now a lot of people got the key. Matter of fact, it's so crazy now that employers told folks they were 40% less likely to be concerned with an MBA now. Why has the standard started to dip, y'all?
more access, right?
More access, and the people, and this is a good one. How about the people with the student loans? They went out there and got student loans to get these MBAs and master's degrees. So they got in crazy debt for something, a loan that will never go away, and they can't even use it anymore. Well, y'all see how that game changed?
Gee, let me add on to your point, because you're making an absolutely spot on point. How many of you listening have been told you don't qualify for that promotion, even though you can do the job, and in fact, you might be doing the job because you don't have a master's degree? Or if you've got a master's, you don't qualify because you don't have a PhD.
I got a PhD.
Uh-huh.
I told you, I got a PhD. Poor, hungry and determined. Okay, Ursula.
I got to since we're getting a little fun slogans here.
Yeah.
Dave texted and said, "You know what degree has the lowest unemployment rate? The blue collar degree."
I've got one of those.
Oh, there you go. And you're employed.
And I am employed.
Me too.
You know what, though? Just because it'll sound like everyone's against, you know that I will always be a proponent of higher education.
Sure. You guys are getting close.
Yeah.
You guys are getting close. You're getting closer to see, like, man, how about that system in this country? Huh. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, it is Flex Fridays, right? And also, we'll talk about the working out. We'll check in with that. But Ursula also has on here that 24 million Americans don't qualify for something. It's in the health world. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
We are
Subaru of Puyallup.
We're stress-free.
Stress-free. Estamos libre de estrés.
We're almost 100 employees strong. We make sure the sales process is smooth.
We have video car walkthroughs.
We have stress-free pricing.
We value our customers and we value their experience.
We're like a family here.
We love our community.
And support local charities. We are
Subaru
of Puyallup. Your
stress-free
dealership.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall Tire Dressing. Plus, get 4 times O-Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
What's up, everybody? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Grateful that you are here. It's that time again. It's time to get your flex on. All right.
I was excited. I woke up this morning and I said to myself, self,
loving you is the most important thing in the world.
That's right. It is Flex Fridays here, and don't worry, we got another deal to do. Before we get into the health news, because we're going to tell you about millions of Americans are finally losing weight, but we're going to get to that in a second. Ursula, check in. What's happening? What you got?
Okay.
Talk to me.
So the good news is I went to the gym twice.
Okay.
And I also tried to get more steps in every day.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the times that I went to the gym was purely because I knew we were going to check in today. And I got to be better than that. So I just want to keep it real. Yeah. And then when I got to the gym, I was like, I'm so unmotivated. Mm-hmm. And I knew that Winton on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page was going to give me grief because he wants to make sure that he sees me sweat. Mm-hmm. Okay? Can you get an effective enough workout without actually dripping sweat?
Yes. Sometimes you can. Yes,
right?
You can.
Because I was like, I'm happy to go, but I cannot say that I'm going to be dripping sweat ever.
Yeah. So that's one thing in the sweat. Yes, it's possible. Sometimes you might not sweat in the workout, right? That's one. Two, here's the second part, and this is very simple. Sometimes you go to a workout and you are unmotivated.
Oh my gosh, I was.
But you know what? An unmotivated workout is 10 times better than no workout.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I did get myself moving. I did do some weights. I did do the treadmill.
Yeah.
But I just was like, when am I going to start enjoying this and really loving it? Like, I see you go every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I envy that because I'm not there. I am exhausted.
I tell you this, by the time I'm going to tell you what gets me. My Thursday afternoon workout and today's Friday afternoon, like I can look at you and tell you right now, I don't feel like going today, this afternoon. Yes. I don't feel like it. I don't want to. Now, I have to, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you don't always go to the gym with this love affair. Sometimes you don't want to go.
Yeah. And I am just thankful that we do this, and I appreciate that all of you allow us to do this on Fridays. Yeah. And I hope that you use it as an accountability thing, too. And I have seen people who've texted in and said they've lost a bunch of weight. Now, I was losing a bunch of weight this week. Scale didn't move. And I'm going to be okay.
Happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes the scale might not have moved because maybe you had too much cottage cheese and sodium, like I was having this week. By the way, I was missing that cottage cheese yesterday. So yeah, go to the Gee and Ursula Facebook page. You can see our pictures there. Check in for the Flex Fridays.
And don't give me grief about no sweat. If you look closely at one of my pictures when I responded to Winton, I showed that there was a little bit of moisture on my face.
Good stuff. Okay, so let's get to it. Millions of Americans are finally losing weight thanks to all the new GLP-1 drugs. But there are still 24 million Americans that don't qualify. And not for insurance reasons, but because those drugs aren't effective for people with a lot of weight to lose. For severe obesity, drugs like Wegovy cap out at about 20% of weight loss. To actually get healthy, these patients often need to shed 80 to 100 pounds. Up until now, the only real answer for that was major gastric bypass surgery. But trial data on a new experimental drug called retatrutide is showing very promising results in the trial. The heaviest patients lost an average of 85 pounds, more than 30% of their body weight over 90 months. To put that in perspective,
8 to 9 months, I think it was.
Did I say 80 to 90 months?
Yeah, it's 8 to 9 months, which is a really
It is
short
not 80 to 90 months. My bad. 8 to 9 months. Thank you for that catch. To put that in perspective, those numbers are officially on par with surgical bariatric bypass, and similar results take about 2 years. But the drug is still working its way through the approval process, so you can't get it legally at the pharmacy just yet. Ursula, your thoughts?
Well, I know that there is one way of thinking about this. It's like, hey, you need to do it the hard way. This is the easy way out. Mm-hmm. And that sort of thinking is what people also say about the medications that are currently available, the injection medications that many take. I've shared that I use them. Mm-hmm. And the GLP-1 drugs, they're still, if you're not covered by insurance, it's outrageously expensive. Mm-hmm. So it is not available for everybody, and there's drawbacks. I mean, so for one thing, you can say, just stop eating so much and exercise more. But for a lot of people, it's not that easy. It truly isn't. And it's still work to have to try to lose weight with the help of these medications. I hope that they can be more accessible to more people, because ultimately we're all going to benefit if we don't have the obesity problem that we have in this country.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, obesity leads to so many other issues that cost all of us. So, I mean, I think this is promising. And, you know, I just would encourage people who think that, hey, you're just being lazy, you're just looking for an easy way out. It's not that simple.
Yeah. You know, I got to tell you, Ursula.
What's that?
For some reason, folks love to slap that lazy adjective on folks. I always find that interesting. Good stuff. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, a Republican senator urges Governor Bob Ferguson to pause the Climate Commitment Act. And guess what, y'all? We're going to have a guest on the show that's going to talk exactly about that.
Yeah, well, and I was going to say, I've asked Governor Ferguson. I wrote about it recently.
To pause it?
Yes. I think a lot of people would love that.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. This Memorial Day weekend, while celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you, we are KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
90s weekend is coming up as the Mariners take on the D-backs. The fun gets started May 29th with 90s Fireworks Night presented by T-Mobile. Then it's back-to-back giveaways with Julio Rodriguez sleeveless jerseys on May 30th and Ken Griffey Jr. pins on May 31st. Both presented by Key Bank. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Yeah, hi. I know it's late, but my water heater's leaking.
Don't worry, we can get a plumber out there fast.
Thanks.
You're welcome, and if it can be repaired, we'll take care of it. But if it's time to replace, you could save $200 on a new water heater right now. Plus, you may qualify for up to $1,000 in rebates, and we handle it start to finish.
Sweet.
Need a plumber fast? The CM Heating Plumbing Team is there when you need it most. Schedule now at cmheating.com.
There's no beating CM Heating.
CMHEAHL 750LP.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-265-7681. 800-265-7681. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-265-7681. 855-7681.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Stacey Lynn. There's a new Federal Reserve Chair. Kevin Warsh is President Trump's pick to replace Jerome Powell, who still will serve on the board. The president and Powell have had a turbulent relationship. Trump says of Warsh,
by following through on this vision, Kevin will restore confidence in the Fed, which is so important and among Americans all across the political spectrum and people from all over the world. And they're going to be looking to Kevin probably and possibly more than any other person that's had your esteemed position before.
a warning if you're heading to the grocery store, prices are going up even more. They already surged 2.9% in April compared to last year. Government data shows it's the highest year-over-year inflation rate for groceries since August 2023. Stu Leonard Jr. owns a grocery store chain.
We look at our prices here at the store, they're only up 1% from last year. But the thing that's making it really tough is the meat. It's the lowest herd sizes in 50 years that they have. And the demand is still there for great meat.
It is also expensive to travel, especially this holiday weekend. This woman is flying out of the airport in Atlanta.
We're actually heading to Houston for the weekend. We're going to the Houston Cigar Festival. It's a Houston Cigar Week is what it is. It's also my husband's birthday, so we're trying to go and celebrate that.
AAA says over 3.5 million people are expected to fly to their destinations. But meteorologist Rob Marciano tells us Mother Nature isn't cooperating with weekend plans.
This afternoon, the showers and storms will fire up. We might see more in the way of delays at some of these airports. Atlanta, maybe back through Minneapolis Saturday. More showers. This rain shield gets into D.C., up I-95 and through New York City.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in Sweden meeting with other NATO leaders. He told reporters that President Trump's been feeling disappointment by the organization's lack of support for the U.S. in the conflict with Iran.
The president's views, frankly, disappointment at some of our NATO allies and their response to our operations in the Middle East. They're well documented. That will have to be addressed. That won't be solved or addressed today. That's something for the leaders level to discuss.
NATO says the alliance has grown closer after a meeting to discuss U.S. defense commitments. A landmark lawsuit against Meta is ending in a settlement. A Kentucky school district accused Facebook and Instagram of designing addictive features that harm students' mental health. The case was the first bellwether trial in a wider wave of more than 1,000 similar lawsuits filed by school districts across the country. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
A shooting in Auburn injures a teen, but first, let's get a check on the roads. Traffic, not too bad. The rest of the map looks clear right now. Federal Way to Seattle, about 37 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 25. Everett to Seattle, about 46 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Auburn police are looking for a suspect after a 17-year-old was shot on a Metro bus Thursday night. Officers were called around 9:30 near 29th Street Southeast and M Street Southeast, where they found the teen with at least one gunshot wound. Here's what Auburn police is telling KIRO 7 TV.
We believe that there's at least one suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other, so we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
There has been gang-related violence in the area in the past. Police said on Facebook they had a canine tracking the area for a suspect. So far, no arrests. AAA is predicting this will be the busiest Memorial Day ever, with 45 million Americans traveling 50 miles or more over the weekend, and more than 1 million Washingtonians are about to hit the highways. But when exactly is the best time to leave to beat the congestion? KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports.
Drivers should expect heavy traffic on I-5, I-90, Route 2, and specifically I-5 through the Canadian border crossings. AAA says the worst time to drive those stretches is between 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. today. On Memorial Day, for that return home, the worst times are between noon and 5 p.m. AAA says the number of people driving at least 50 miles from home is slightly up this year from 2025 at around 39.1 million people. This is even with the gas price averages in Washington being more than $1 higher per gallon than last Memorial Day.
With the World Cup coming to Seattle, the King County Sheriff's Office is rolling out new anti-drone technology to keep fans safe. Under Sheriff Jeffrey Floor says drones are one of the biggest emerging threats. Until now, local agencies had no real way to stop them.
So when the drone gets launched, they're breaking the law. So we're able now to detect the operator, figure out where they are, send teams to contact them. And if we can't contact them or we think the drone is dangerous, we now have the ability to handle that drone.
The sheriff's office has new technology and equipment from funding through the FBI. Starbucks is pulling the plug on an AI tool it rolled out just 9 months ago to automate inventory counts in its North American stores. According to Reuters, an internal newsletter says the company is retiring automated counting after the system repeatedly misidentified products, even confusing milk types or missing items entirely. The program was part of CEO Brian Nichols' push to fix the ongoing product shortages. Starbucks now says it's standardizing inventory procedures and moving toward more frequent daily deliveries to keep items in stock. And for your KIRO News Radio weather, mainly sunny. It's going to be warm on this Friday, highs in the upper 60s to mid 70s, even some spots getting close to 80. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. We got company and we got a guest. I want to get right to it. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Coming up at 10:30, just a reminder, Father's Day is not far away, and nearly 2/3 of U.S. dads have said they have missed an important event because work got in the way. Are you one of those dads? Text us, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right.
What's new at 10?
Seattle area gas prices just smashed another record, topping $6 a gallon as tensions between the U.S. and Iran continue to rattle global oil markets. And now there's concern that things could get even worse. Iran is reportedly discussing new fees tied to ships moving through the Strait of Hormuz. As you know, that is one of the most important oil shipping routes on the planet. But a lot of Washington drivers are asking, we get this all the time, how much of our pain at the pump is global and how much is actually homegrown? Because while lawmakers cannot control a war in the Middle East, critics say it is our state policies that are adding to the cost of fuel here at home. So joining us now on the Gee and Ursula Show is State Senator Chris Gilden, the Republican budget leader in the Senate and ranking member on Ways and Means. Good morning, Senator.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for joining us. So you say it is time for Governor Bob Ferguson to roll back the Climate Commitment Act. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's just a given fact that anyone understands by now that the Climate Commitment Act is adding cost to the gallon of gasoline. And it's far more reaching than that, actually, because everything, it's not just your commute that it affects and the price you pay at the pump, but it's all of the cost of transporting goods to market. Everything moves on a truck. All of those prices are inflated for diesel. It's the cost of manufacturing. It trickles down to every part of your life, and it is really important. You know, I was on an airplane ride coming back from a business trip earlier this week, and I was sitting next to an elderly woman, and she was coming back to Kent with her daughter. And she confided in me that she had like $150 of disposable income at the end of each month. She was on a fixed income retirement plan. This a dollar to the gallon of gasoline, I mean, that has a real impact on people just like her. And I hear those stories all too often.
Senator, by the way, you're right. Well, I hear these stories all the time, have for years. And one of the things that you said, you agree, I think we all can agree, that everything in Washington is uniquely expensive. Gas, housing, childcare. Okay? Of those three, Senator, I want to know which one do you believe is doing the most damage to families' budget, and tell me which one of the three outside of the pause and the CCA that you are going the hardest on inside of the legislature.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would divide that up. I guess it depends on what phase you are in life. If you are a young family starting out and you have to put your kids in childcare, obviously that is a huge impact for you. But at a later stage in your life, it may be property taxes, or it could be, the gas or whatever it is. So I think that question, it maybe depends on the phase of your life. But I think Ursula said it very well at the beginning of the introduction when she said, we can't control what goes on nationally, right? But we can control the things that are within our state. Right. And one of the things that is inside of our state that we can control is the Climate Commitment Act. And we know that Governor Ferguson has the ability to, through his emergency powers, to go ahead and put a pause on this. And I'm not saying pause it forever. I'm not saying stop it, or I'm not saying, put our the betterment of our environment in peril. But you've got to balance affordability with all of these other goals, right? That's the responsible thing to do, is to acknowledge that you have to balance it. We've got to provide affordability for our citizens, and we've got to be good stewards of the environment as well.
You are listening to State Senator Chris Gilden. If the governor suspended or repealed the CCA tomorrow, let's say, realistically, how much cheaper could gas get?
So the experts down in Olympia have told me that within a matter of weeks, just a matter of a short couple of weeks, people would start feeling it in their pocketbooks. And it could be upwards of 55 cents a gallon is what the impact could potentially be.
Okay, and supporters of the CCA, though, I want to point out, they say that this money is funding transportation, ferries, wildfire prevention, and climate resilience projects. If you repeal it or suspend it, and I heard you when you said it doesn't necessarily mean forever, but for right now, what gets cut, or what impact would that have?
I don't think it would have a huge impact. I did an interview with Todd Myers just the other day on this very topic from the Washington Policy Center, and he's one of the leading experts in environmental policy in our state. And I asked him that same question. I said, how are the dollars from this Climate Commitment Act actually being spent? Ursula, I've got to tell you, you can dig into the budget and see it yourself. The vast majority of those dollars are being spent on work groups, meetings, things that don't actually have an impact on the environment. I think we can do much better at being better, spending those dollars better. The legislature just this last year additionally expanded a use for the Climate Commitment Act, and they're using it to fund the Working Families Tax Credit Program, which that's a good program. I support that program, but it's not helping the environment.
Senator, I like how you focus and preface that about the phases. And I want to go back to the phases because that's important. You mentioned a phase about childcare. Glad you brought that up, because right now, childcare right now is really costing some families. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, childcare is a big one. So when it comes to the childcare, a lot of childcare, some people are paying close to mortgage and rent when it comes to there. What is something that you specifically have been doing in the legislature to help get behind help and relief for childcare in the state of Washington?
Yeah, and this is where I'll throw a little bit of kudos over to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle in the majority Democrat Party. Is just this last year, they took actually an initiative that we had started the year prior. So the way things were, Gee, is if you were a child and you're attending daycare, if you attended one day, that provider got paid for the entire month of childcare, right? That seems a little bit strange to me. And I understand childcare facilities, they need the predictability. They need to know how many people approximately are going to be coming in so they can hire staff and plan accordingly. But it seems like attending one day and getting paid for the full month, that's a little excessive. So the legislature changed that this year, and they're saving about $1 billion from the state budget to where that if the child attends, I think we ended up on 14 days, then they get paid for the entire month. And then anything less than that, it's a day for day.
I will agree that pausing the CCA would really have some relief for the people. I just want you to know that. I agree with that. Outside of this pause, outside of the CCA, is there anything that you believe that would be a good permanent fix here in this state that would help the working class in the state? You know, like the lady that you sat next to with $150. What would you permanently fix?
I would start off with accountability and performance measures on every bill that spends money in the legislature. We try to get those added on to all kinds of bills that spend money. What are your measures of performance? What are your measures of effectiveness? How do you gauge and when do you revisit the program to see if it's actually working? I think that's one of the very first things that we could do. We can also find ways to save a lot of taxpayer dollars right now. And I'll give you an example. The Democrat state auditor just about a year ago came out with a report on state Medicaid. And they said that there's about 130,000 people who are concurrently enrolled in Medicaid in Washington state and in another state, meaning both states are paying monthly premiums for those individuals. I think we can clean that up quite easily. I offered a bill on that. It didn't go anywhere this last year, but there's some real common sense things that we can do to structurally reform our state budgeting process, our spending process, and to make sure that every dollar has a name, a job, and it's being used effectively and efficiently.
This is State Senator Chris Gilden, who is the Republican budget leader in the Senate, and you are proposing this suspension, at least for right now, of the CCA. What kind of response are you getting in Olympia or from colleagues in Olympia?
I just put out the proposal yesterday, and so people are starting to get a hold of the news. I think you're the first interview that I've done, and I heard your program where you were talking about this very thing just very recently.
Yes.
And then whenever, the CPI came out showing that the Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma area inflation was so much higher in our areas than in the rest of the nation, and that gas was up, I think, 26% over the previous year. It was just like, I've got to do something, right? And I don't know if the governor is going to accept my proposal. I hope he accepts it in the good faith that it was offered, and that, he will take it seriously and not think that it's some type of a partisan push or anything, because it's not. I'm truly making an attempt to provide some relief for the people of our state.
No, I certainly hear that. And I want to ask you, has the state become too dependent on CCA revenue to just walk away from it right now?
It is a good amount of money. But I tell you what, it's just not being spent wisely, in my opinion. I mentioned it's going to provide work groups and study groups and to allow people to have meetings to talk about the climate, but very little of it is actually going to anything that touches the climate. Like, I would be happy if they would do an incentive program for something like smart thermostats, right? That will save energy all over for every household. Just little things like that, I think, would be much more effective and a better way of using those dollars.
I have one last question, good brother. Let's just say the governor, let's say he says no to this. Then what's your next move to help others get relief?
Well, I keep plugging along. Every time that I find some way that I'm able to try to affect our state policy, our state government, and affordability, and like I said, those measures of effectiveness, measures of performance, we do it. Just a year ago, the legislature was facing a huge budget shortfall. And in response to that, I started off on a little project just to see if I could balance the budget without cutting services, without increasing taxes, and still bridge that $7.5 billion budget shortfall. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. And I told staff that I wouldn't do it unless I could do it with a straight face and with all honesty. And in the end, we actually did provide a budget that was fully balanced, that didn't have any tax increases, that didn't have any cuts to services. We called it the Save Washington budget. You can go look it up. The S is the money sign, so that's kind of fun. But, so if you get in there and you dig into it and you really want to do some of those structural reforms, like I was talking about with the payments to the child care providers, you can find ways to save. Even Governor Gregoire has recently come out saying that this legislature has just a complete spending problem. And when you have a former Democratic governor coming out and saying that the Democrat majority in Olympia has a spending problem, you should take notice.
One last question for you, because a couple of our listeners are saying, and I'll be honest, and I know you said you heard the show where I was talking about it, I would be in favor of suspending for now the CCA and giving some relief. But Jerry in the 206 says, would gas companies just raise prices 55 cents then to make up for that? Would there be some way to make sure that that suspension would actually come to us as consumers?
Yeah, I guess that could be a valid concern. I don't have a lot of concern that would be the case. Kind of the profiteering type of fear. But I think that the gas companies, they're going to make their margin of profit, whatever, the margin that it is. But I don't believe that would be the case.
Senator, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me and talking about this important issue.
Okay, we got a couple of more minutes left, Gee. How about we talk about, how those online ads that promise your entire house can be cleaned for less than the price of a Dick's combo? Washington's Attorney General says there's a catch to that one. And AG Nick Brown has actually reached an agreement now with a Texas-based company called Homoglow, also known as Dazzling Clean, after accusing the company of deceptive business practices tied to these really ultra-cheap cleaning deals. We're talking offers like $9 for 2 hours of house cleaning or $19 for 3 hours. It sounds amazing until you find out that you're now enrolled in a membership program that could cost you hundreds of dollars to get out of. And so the state is accusing the company of using fake countdown clocks to pressure people into signing up and misleading consumers with fabricated 5-star reviews. So under this agreement, Homoglow has to make its membership terms crystal clear to all the customers and allow people to cancel without getting hit with massive penalties. But when you are seeing these ads that say $9 for your whole house cleaned or $19 for 3 rooms, are you not skeptical?
I'm as skeptical as I am. There's 2 types of salesmen. There's the one salesman that has his sleeves rolled up and has the top button unbuttoned and has his tie kind of hanging down. And then there's the other salesman that's really dressed up, sharp, cufflinks, so much so the cufflinks has his initials, right? We will usually trust the salesman that's dressed up before the other salesman that's kind of a little rough, sleeved up. But most of the time, some of the biggest scammers in the United States of America are the people that are dressed up in suits and cufflinks. I love that they are going after the folks that are doing it the wrong way, specifically, because there are some businesses that are doing that and say, hey, to our retired or our elderly population or those on fixed incomes, hey, we're going to charge you $9 a month to come in. And then when they come in your place, before you know it, this person doesn't have family. And before you know it, this person's paying $800 a month. We got to go after them. No question. But some people do it that way. Some people do it in a suit. And sometimes we don't pay attention to those things. So, Ursula, yes, go after those folks. But sometimes people are real, Ursula. Sometimes you have folks who really are trying to get their foot in the door and give someone a good deal. Yeah. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we got scenarios at 10:47. But up next, I just found out that we have the president of Seattle City Council coming up on the Gee and Ursula Show. Next, Gee and Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone, but for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Washington is helping men take control of their health with a free, comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value included when starting treatment. Your panel checks key health markers, including testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidneys, liver, and thyroid, so you can finally understand what your body's been trying to tell you. Since 2011, over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Get answers, get a plan, and start feeling better. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free, comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Kevin Warsh has been sworn in as the new chairman of the Federal Reserve. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports from the White House.
Kevin Warsh replaces Jerome Powell as head of the Fed. President Trump's outspoken criticism of Powell was widely viewed as an effort to pressure him on monetary policy. But the president says that won't happen with Warsh.
I really mean this. This is not said in any other way. I want Kevin to be totally independent.
Warsh spoke about his leadership vision.
I will lead a reform-oriented Federal Reserve, learning from past successes and mistakes both.
Warsh takes over at the Fed amid inflationary pressures due in large part to the war against Iran. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Here in Washington, Tacoma police arrested a man yesterday in connection with the missing persons case from April. Friends reported a woman missing back on April 1st. Detectives quickly focused on an adult male suspect. They arrested him first on identity theft and harassment, then upgraded the case to murder, even though the woman's body had not been found. Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd tells us,
as long as you meet your elements of your crime, that's what they needed. And so they were able to obtain that, and prosecutor's office was on board.
The suspect is now booked on first-degree murder while the search for the missing woman continues. A Marysville man is accused in a string of mail thefts. Prosecutors say he was seen on surveillance footage recently breaking into a cluster of mailboxes. Linwood Police Commissioner Joe Dickinson tells KIRO 7 TV he stole personal information and accessed victims' bank accounts.
He's found more and more victims, upward of 80 to 100, maybe more. We're not sure, right? So because this spans from not just Linwood, Bothell, other agencies, other communities that are affected.
The suspect made his first court appearance yesterday, and he's expected to be formally charged today. And this is the last summer for Wild Waves in Federal Way. KIRO News Radio's Amanda Factor reports the park opens this Saturday. That's tomorrow for its 50th and final season.
Wild Waves has been struggling financially since the pandemic. Director of Sales and Marketing Weston Petrie says they've lost millions of dollars and the cost to keep running just keep climbing. He says they're going out with a bang.
We're celebrating. It's all wrapping up, but it's been a staple in the community forever.
Dive-in movies, foam parties, a Hispanic cultural festival, and 21 and overnights are all on the calendar. Fright Fest in November will be the last event before Wild Waves closes its doors for good. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, it continues to look pretty good out there. Federal Way to Seattle about 37 minutes, Renton to Bellevue 25, Everett to Seattle about 46 minutes right now. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2. And for your forecast, sunshine is on the way and good temperatures in the mid-60s to even low 70s, even the 80s in some spots. Right now, it's about 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a fresh Friday, and one of the things that we do on the show, if something comes up and we need to pivot, we do it. And that's what's happening right now, because you may have heard in our newscast that the Seattle City Council president is allegedly asking for something that her predecessor calls unusual. 2 police officers stationed at every council meeting. And then if you're like us, you'd be like, wait a minute, did we not have that story about what is going on in North Seattle along Aurora Avenue, not having enough cops, having just 800 and not even 900 officers when we used to have 1,200. So we want to find out, and we are going straight to the source. Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth joins us now on the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank y'all for having me, Gee and Ursula. Excited to be here, and rest in peace, Wild Waves. I just found that out on your show. I forgot about it, so just wanted to say that. For the viewers.
Last season of Wild Waves, we have many memories of taking the kids there. I know. I saw that this morning as well. Okay, but we're going to go right to this this claim by your predecessor, who says, why is the city council president asking for 2 police officers at council meetings? So tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so let me just give the facts. So this request was made back in January to our Seattle Police Department that, would like some type of presence at council meetings, not visibly, but stationed in our green room, which is behind those doors, for any threats that are coming at council. And I ran this by my colleagues. I said, hey, this will make some people potentially feel, just to make things safe in the council chambers and council members. There's 9 of us every Tuesday at 2 p.m. And I also want to reiterate, King County has metal detectors. We have other, the mayor has a full-time detail and cars. We have our King County executive that has their detail as well. And so 9 council members at 2:00 on Tuesday, having 2 officers that are in our green room. They come when they can, if they have extra officers, and if they don't, they don't. And so it's a request that was made. I think it's fairly simple. They do it a lot of municipalities across the country, and it's something to keep everyone safe, not just council members.
Since we're on the topic of law enforcement, by the way, we were just talking about law enforcement and the decision to be made to deploy some of them on Aurora and things like that. Your colleague, Council Member Bob Kettle, actually recently put out a statement where he talked about the goal of SPD wanting 1,250 officers, that being the goal and how you guys are wanting to do that. First, as president of Seattle City Council, are you guys still on track with that? Or are there any hurdles that's in the way from stopping that from happening?
Absolutely. Look, this is one thing that I campaigned on, which said, hey, I supported the previous mayor's plan on officers, which was about 1,400. And it would take some time. So I haven't shied away from this. I've also been a proponent of making sure that when someone calls 911, they get the appropriate response, whether it's a social worker, it could be an officer, it could be a fire department person, could be the care team, and really just understanding the whole spectrum of public safety. And the goal by the end of the year is to have 1,258 officers. And last year we were net positive. This year we're still on the same track. I do know that there are potential hurdles in that with the budgeting piece, understanding that, adding new officers costs more funding and money. But I know that people are committed to kind of restoring the whole spectrum of public safety in our city. And when people think about officers, it's not the ones that you see, it's the detectives, the behind the scenes, the folks that are presenting stuff. There's a whole landscape of officers that are coming into play here. So I support the entire spectrum of public safety.
And just to be clear, though, to get to 1,200 when you're right now under 900, at least, who are servicing the city, that's a big jump to do within a year or even 6 months. We're talking about a longer period, right? I mean, what on average, how many new officers are we getting in the city of Seattle?
Yeah. So look, last year, it was a net positive between 70 to 100. So we
For the year.
gained more correct. Beforehand, we were losing about 100 officers a year. So no matter if we had officers as well, the intake and outtake of that was always negative 100. And then I know people said, hey, you did all this work, but you only got +1 the first year you were in office during the plan. To me, that was like good because you saw that we were on a different trajectory. Beforehand, we were negative, and it's a climb, right? Mm-hmm. Last year, it was plus 70 to 100 officers within the whole deployable officers. And now we're on track to hopefully potentially hit that number before the end of the year. And that's what people are, wanting. From my perspective, people have asked for that, and they wanted to see officers on the street, knowing folks, walking, understanding who's in the neighborhood, having some type of relationship with them. There's other neighborhoods that said, hey, we don't want that. We want more social workers, or we want a care team. Fine. Let's make sure that they have that. Let's make sure every neighborhood has what they need to feel safe in our city.
You listen to the voice of Seattle City Council President Joy Hollingsworth here on the Gee and Ursula Show. So I want to go back to that hurdle that you just discussed a second ago. And okay, so I want to make sure I get this straight. Because before, Seattle City Council didn't have the greatest reputation when it comes to wanting more officers. But today, especially with that notice from Bob Kettle, your colleague, it seems like you guys are on that public safety deal. So if Seattle City Council might be on that deal, is the mayor's office on the same wavelength as far as wanting 1,250 officers too?
I can't answer that question to say, I don't know. I don't know what they campaigned on. I don't know where those values align. But what I do know is that every department has been tasked with 5 to 10% exercise of cutting their budget. And what would that look like? And that's every department. That includes the public safety departments. That includes, SDOT. All the departments across the board have been tasked with that. And I think that if we were to go down that route, depending on, certain departments that have maybe more funding, that's just staffing. There's some departments that 80 to 90% of the budget is staff. It's not just, materials or programming. I think we would see detrimental impacts to some departments, depending on, what their structure looks like. So I can't answer that. I don't know, but I do know that my goal is to continue that progress of having enough officers for a city this size. That's what's important.
Thanks, Joy. Really appreciate you taking the time. Means the world. Oh, before you go, Ursula and I and Chef, we all saw that you guys just signed off on the shelters, right? That's going to happen. And I know the goal was 500 shelters by the World Cup. I remember when you were on the show here earlier in the year. Are you guys going to hit the goal of 500 shelter beds?
That was the mayor's goal. And I don't know if I've seen, where those numbers are adding up. And so that's something we did our job, the legislative process, to help the mayor's office with that goal. And we're looking forward to see them execute and to see if they hit that before the World Cup.
Thanks, Joy. Appreciate your time. Coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show, it is time for Scenarios. Gee and Ursula.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
We are all about your experience.
We are
Subaru
of Puyallup, your
stress-free
dealership.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Grateful that you're hanging out with us. Let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I've been dating a really nice guy. He's cute, funny, good looking, athletic, smart. He's very interesting. He's one of those guys that anybody would be attracted to. I've been thinking, great guy, amazing catch. Yeah, there's a yeah, but until now. He had never mentioned anything about it, but I started to dig into his social media and pictures online, and I popped up on a profile. So come to find out, he has a total of 5 kids with 3 different women. I really like him, but this is pretty much a big deal. How do I deal with this? Or how do I bring this up? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Ursula, you up the bat first.
Why hasn't that come up before? Why did she have to go digging around to find out that he has how many children?
5.
5 children from 3 different moms? Yeah, this guy sounds like he's really good at impressing the women in the beginning. And then I don't want to assume that there's anything about how much responsibility he has, but that's lying through omission, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You're not bringing up that you have 5 children. This is news to you, and you've been dating for a while. Yeah, that's a character flaw.
Yeah.
You don't want to bring anything up? Gee, I don't know. You want to bring anything up?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of those things where, I mean, like, the question at the very end is like, or how do I bring this up? I'm going to tell you, there is no secret sauce. Or you could become a politician and figure out how to dance around it, because that's a popular thing to do. So, anyways, being straightforward. Hey, do you have 5 kids with 3 different women? Just ask.
And why hasn't it come up until now?
Yeah, just ask.
And this whole thing, like, everyone thinks he's great. Everyone thinks he's great. That's great. He presents well.
Right.
But something's very seriously wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah. And one of the things that really stands out is she talked and talks a lot about, she says, cute, funny,
yes,
good looking,
yes,
athletic, smart, interesting.
Great on paper.
He sounds charismatic.
Yeah.
But then
sounds like he's bamboozled a few people.
But then when you ask different questions, you get to find out that kind of thing. Yes, the advice would be to, I think, and by the way, I think this is probably one of the biggest scenarios where we're all on the same page.
Yes.
Just
okay,
ask.
but I got a question, though, of all of you who are still of the dating persuasion at this point.
Mm-hmm.
How soon do you bring up kids when you're dating?
Pretty much immediately.
Right?
I mean,
like, why wouldn't you bring it up almost immediately?
Yeah.
Like, why is anyone hiding it?
Yeah, I would assume it comes up right away.
Yeah.
Like, matter of fact, I don't think it is possible to get through that first date without it. Well, whoa, I got one for you. I don't know how it's possible to get to the first date without maybe talking about it. It is what it is.
Well, and he's deliberately keeping it out of any sort of social media because she had to dig deep into his profile.
Yeah.
When do you bring it up? I mean, certainly before you disclose that you're actually married. I would bring nothing up with this guy.
I would
period.
break off,
I would just break it up. Like,
get
but
out.
I mean, here's the real question though. Do you judge somebody who has 5 kids with 3 different partners? Because the fundamental question here, aside from the lie of omission, is do you see someone with 5 kids from 3 partners as someone with a character flaw?
I think it is subjective, right? And by the way, I don't think, and another, just is real clear, just because you have 5 children with 3 different women, there's, you could still be president of the United States.
Well,
in a situation where you could have,
As a matter of
what I'm
fact,
saying?
Well, and it also depends. The answer would be it depends.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have responsibilities, and are you being a responsible parent?
That's what I'm saying.
Then that's just part of your history.
Right.
You haven't had a great picker, but you've got responsibilities that you're taking care of.
Different ways, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, do you judge a woman like that has 5 kids with 3 different dads, right? Like, you can't really. Sometimes you just have a bad picker.
Yes.
Right. And some of us are. So you can be a bad picker, and then sometimes you get it right. Right. You get it right on those things. So.
You have a problem if you got 5 kids with 3 people. I don't know. Here's the thing.
That's a sweeping.
That's a sweeping statement.
It's a sweeping statement I'm comfortable with. I don't know. Like, I don't judge anyone who has kids with more than one partner, but if you're having 3 kids as a guy with 3 different partners, that's a choice. That is a choice to be irresponsible. And especially if you have the backup data that they're not even a part of a social media picture, you're an absent, absconded. Like you're not in the picture.
But you making an assumption. Okay, I want to hear from someone who is in a situation like this.
Please do.
Because
that's not a sweeping statement. I ain't on that one. I'm not making that sweeping statement.
Yeah, I'm not either, because I have seen situations where surprisingly, even though they didn't do a great job picking out their right partner, they have done a great job raising those kids.
I'm not saying it's impossible to be a good parent with 3 different partners.
Yes.
I'm saying that 5 kids with 3 partners is a choice. And especially if they're not in the picture on your social media, you're not a good choice. You're not making good choices.
Somebody said Elon Musk has a bunch of kids.
Dude, he has
women.
like 14.
Really?
Yeah,
Nick
with like
Cannon
at least
has
9.
a bunch kids.
He's got like a weird population thing.
He has his own little compound.
Yeah, he
of
wants
moms.
to like make a whole.
The richest person in the world?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, let me get on out of this segment. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula
He
Show.
has 14 children, by the way.
Did I get that right?
14 children, yeah.
Oh,
nailed it.
4 moms.
Hey, at 11:30, we have Agree to Disagree. And you know what? Another thing we're going to be talking about is rooftop bars. Summertime, Seattle. Next, Gee and Ursula.
Honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. This Memorial Day weekend, while celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you. We are KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Let's talk real here for a second, because summertime is coming up. Matter of fact, it's Memorial Day weekend, so it's the unofficial start to summer, and those kids are going to be home all day. But now let's talk about the grocery bill that's going to grow fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you could receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer. Food in your cart and a little less pressure on your budget. There's no catch. There's no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for families this summer.
Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Gordillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is happening right now. The cost of living has gone up, but when buying a car, it doesn't have to feel like it. Zero Down delivers, no payments all summer, and exclusive 10-day deals in partnership with Tapco Credit Union. With a wide selection of new vehicles and over 400 used vehicles across 5 dealerships, you'll find just what you're looking for. Visit Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup or Kia and Chevy of Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Tulsi Gabbard is resigning as the Director of National Intelligence, ABC News has confirmed. Gabbard oversaw large-scale reductions in DNI staff as well as the declassification of government records on the JFK assassination and the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. The CDC now says it's sending 7 medical experts to Central Africa to help contain the current Ebola outbreak. Dr. Satish Pillai is the CDC's incident manager for Ebola response.
We continue to support DRC and Uganda country offices and Ministry of Health colleagues with near-term focus on expanding infection prevention and control efforts, strengthening contact tracing and surveillance operations, accelerating laboratory confirmation, addressing logistical gaps, and enhancing risk communication and community engagement.
And Kevin Warsh now sworn in as the new chairman of the Federal Reserve. This is ABC News. The Pentagon has unveiled another batch of its so-called UFO files, part of the ongoing release of once classified material ordered by President Trump. Today's files include more than 50 previously classified videos and other documents related to unidentified anomalous phenomena, the official term for UFOs. So far, the Pentagon has found no evidence that any of these incidents are of an extraterrestrial nature. The NASCAR world has been shocked by the sudden death of Kyle Busch. He passed away at 41 years old after what his family calls a severe illness.
His final win came in what turned out to be his final race, exactly 1 week ago at the Dover Motor Speedway.
Why do these moments never get old, Kyle?
Because you never know when the last one is.
Busch was one of the most successful drivers ever. He holds the all-time record for wins across NASCAR's top 3 national series, 234 in all.
ABC's Will Reeve. Busch had been scheduled to race this weekend in Charlotte. I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
A shooting injured a teen in Auburn, but first, let's get a check on the roads with KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Well, the drive continues to look clear as we drive into this Memorial Day weekend. Federal Way to Seattle, about 37 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 25 minutes. Everett to Seattle, 46. Linwood to Bellevue, about 16 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss 8 fireworks nights this season presented by T-Mobile. The first show is May 29th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Katrina Gashard. Auburn police are searching for a suspect after a 17-year-old was shot on a Metro bus Thursday night. Officers were called around 9:30 near 29th Street Southeast and M Street Southeast, where they found the teen with at least 1 gunshot wound. Here's what Auburn police is telling KIRO 7 TV.
We believe that there's at least 1 suspect involved in this. We also do not think this was a random attack. We do believe that the people involved knew each other. So we don't necessarily think there's a threat to the community.
There has been gang-related violence in that area in the past. Police said on Facebook they had a canine tracking the area for the suspect. So far, no arrests. AAA is predicting this will be the busiest Memorial Day ever, with 45 million Americans traveling 50 miles or more over the weekend, and more than 1 million Washingtonians are about to hit the highways. But when exactly is the best time to leave to beat the congestion? KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports.
Drivers should expect heavy traffic on I-5, I-90, Route 2, and specifically I-5 through the Canadian border crossings. AAA says the worst time to drive those stretches is between 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. today. On Memorial Day, for that return home, the worst times are between noon and 5 p.m. AAA says the number of people driving at least 50 miles from home is slightly up this year from 2025 at around 39.1 million people. This is even with the gas price averages in Washington being more than $1 higher per gallon than last Memorial Day.
With the World Cup coming to Seattle, the King County Sheriff's Office is rolling out new anti-drone technology to keep fans safe. Under Sheriff Jeffrey Flores says drones are one of the biggest emerging threats, and until now, local agencies had no real way to stop them.
So when the drone gets launched, they're breaking the law. So we're able now to detect the operator, figure out where they are, send teams to contact them, and if we can't contact them or we think the drone is dangerous, we now have the ability to handle that drone.
The sheriff's office has new technology and equipment from funding through the FBI. Part of the Wonderland Trail at Mount Rainier is closed right now because of what the park calls unusual bear activity. The park posted on Facebook that the stretch between the Narada Falls Trail and the Stevens Canyon Road is temporarily shut down. If you're thinking about hiking in the area and run into a black bear, the park says stay calm and back away slowly. Do not run. And if anyone approaches you, stand your ground, make yourself look big, and make a lot of noise. And now for your KIRO News Radio weather. Sunshine on the way today. Highs will be from the 60s to the mid-70s and the 80s in some areas. Right now, it's about 67 out there in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Fresh Fridays to all of you. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. While you were outside of the studio, something happened. History happened here.
It did?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And maybe you all listening, especially you longtime listeners, noticed something very different at the top of the hour. We have ABC News now doing the network news. CBS Radio is no more.
So I have a question for everyone that heard it. What did that feel like? What was that moment like for you? Text in if you heard it, or it took Ursula for you to, really notice it. Because sometimes the radio could be on, but you're doing something else. You're not really, and then sometimes you focus on, wait, what did I just hear?
And
what did you think?
Well, for one thing, I'm sorry that we didn't give you more of a heads up for those of you who have really grown up listening to that. The trademark CBS opening sounder for the top of the hour news. It's like for some people, it's clockwork. It's like that's something that was part of growing up here in the Pacific Northwest or wherever you were listening to CBS News. And we only found out 8 minutes before this happened that we were going to switch over. We knew that this was coming. It was supposed to be later tonight. But I think folks over at CBS just abandoned the newsroom because they were playing the same newscast over and over again. It was like we needed to jump and make the switch sooner than we thought we were going to.
So in layman's terms, CBS was like, I'm out, dog.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, we're done.
Well, they were doing that not just in our market, but their feed for every radio station that picks them up across the nation.
Yes. So we're talking about hundreds of stations across the country that are affiliates of CBS News.
Can I tell you this is random, and you guys know I'm always random. You know whose sign-off that I just always loved and I'm going to miss? Have you ever met my man, what's his name? Steve Kaifman?
CBS News.
Yeah. It was something about the way he would do it. And by the way, I know there's a lot of them. Shout out to all of them. But Steve Kaifman used to just really, his voice is like butter to me.
Well,
Keith Morrison.
Think about it, though. I mean, for nearly 100 years, it's been CBS Radio.
Yeah.
There was a short amount of time when I remember during the time I've been with KIRO where we got rid of doing the network news, and that didn't go so well, so we brought it back.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, because they were trying to just...
What did we bring in?
A combination of just doing it internally, doing it in-house, and having the news anchors here handle the national and international news in addition to the local news. It was like, no, you want to have... So what's great is we now have a relationship with ABC News, which, quite frankly, right now, I think is in a much stronger position than CBS News was toward the end. So you will still get the top of the hour news, but it'll be ABC News now. Okay. So I just want to make sure everybody knows because, if you notice the difference, it kind of caught us all a little off guard. 888-973-5476, 888-973. KIRO is the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Let's get to it.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
Electric vehicle owners may soon get a bill in the mail for using the roads. What are you talking about? Well, there's a bipartisan group of lawmakers in Congress who are proposing this new annual federal fee of $130 for EVs and $35 for some plug-in hybrids to help pay for road repairs. And the argument is pretty simple. Gas-powered drivers already help fund highways every time we fill up through federal gas taxes. EV drivers do not. So lawmakers say they should be able to pay into the system somehow. And under this proposal, those fees would actually gradually increase every year starting in 2029, eventually reaching $150 a year for EVs and $50 for plug-in hybrids. But as you can imagine, there are critics who say this unfairly targets EV owners, and wasn't that the big push to get people to drive electric vehicles for the environment? And one EV advocacy group says the average gas-powered driver only pays about $88 a year in federal taxes. So why should EV drivers pay even more? What do you think, Gee? As the only one in this
Why are you asking
room
him?
that used to drive an electric vehicle.
Right. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about who is driving a brand new electric car today. I would say that most of the working class, a lot of folks are probably driving gas-powered vehicles. And you all know what the gas is on that. Now, I see where they're trying to say the unfairness because the average American on a federal level pays about $70 to $90 per year in just the gas tax, whereas this fee is $130. So they're like, hey, why are we getting, unfairly charged? Because most of the people in this country that don't have the EV, most of the time have longer drives than the other, right? Because there's a lot of people, it seems like it's unfair, but it kind of averages out a little bit because not a lot of people are living. So wherever you work at, do you work an hour away from your job? Or do you live an hour away from your job, or do you live within 15, 20 minutes from your job? And so the people that usually live an hour away are usually, not saying all, are least likely to have an EV living that far away from their jobs.
So are you in agreement then with the EV folks who are saying this is unfair?
No, I'm not in agreement. I think that there should be a cost to them. I agree with this $130 fee, even though it's more than the $70 to $90 that comes with the gas tax on the federal level for the year for the average gas-powered car. So, yes, I agree with it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO, because I don't drive an EV. I'm still driving my 2016 Subaru Outback, doing great on my mileage. Because I was thinking about car tabs, too, and I know that you were saying car tabs on electric vehicles are...
I just know the car tabs on my electric vehicle. That thing was serious.
And meanwhile, I'm enjoying $200 card tabs.
Serious.
Just one real quick point before we get out of here.
Yeah.
The promise of electric vehicles was not that you would not pay gas taxes. It's that you would not buy gas, right? I mean, so the idea that people bought an EV because they're like, I wanted to get out of gas tax, I think that's false. The idea was you don't have to buy gas.
Yes.
Period.
But you're still, but I think that there were these added incentives to get people to buy these things. It's like, look at all the savings that you have, additional savings. Well, now they're saying, wait a minute, we're going to add it to you because you are also putting some wear and tear on the roads.
Should you then put a tax on a car that gets 60 miles per gallon because they're more efficient?
That's what I'm saying. I got one even
We're all
better.
using the roads.
We are using the roads, and one of the things that I remember when I used to do KIRO nights, and Sully and I would always talk about the potential in the future, the possibility of road usage.
Oh yeah,
right?
Fees. Yeah.
So here's my
question. About it for a decade, at least.
Here's my question for all of you.
Yes.
Do you all think that we should say, hey, you know what? If you have a gas car, obviously you're going out, you're paying for the gas, CCA, all that stuff. Got to make sure I get the CCA in. But if you have an EV, would you guys be okay with there being a road usage charge for people in an EV? So at the end of the year, they show how many miles that their vehicle has gone, and then they pay X amount of money for the miles that they put on that year.
That seems like a fair thing, but would that be a disincentive then for people getting into EVs? Because the whole point was to have additional incentives, right, to get people to drive electric vehicles?
Yes.
So would that end up being a disincentive?
So it goes back to my seesaw thing. It's always a seesaw, Ursula. Always a seesaw. What else you got next?
Okay. Wild Waves. Did you go when your kids were younger?
Yeah.
I loved that place. Do you know it's in its last season? And check this out. So the Pacific Northwest's largest theme park is about to kick off its final decision.
Oh, man, that brings me back.
Oh, it does. So you drive by it every time when you're going on I-5 near Federal Way.
Yeah.
And it's going to be opening tomorrow and closing for good on November 1st. Premier Parks, which operates Wild Wave, says it's just too expensive now. Ever since the pandemic, they've been dealing with millions of dollars in losses, and that has led to them to force the shutdown. And this is a park that employs more than 800 seasonal workers and 35 full-time staff. But the water slides, the lazy pool, the rides, I loved them so much.
So I want to ask your opinion. Why do you think, and you all listening right now, why do you guys believe that Wild Waves is closing down? Meaning, why do you believe if people are going there less today than they used to? Why do you think that's happening?
I think it costs more to run a place like that. That's a big, huge amount of property and it's like prime property. And people are choosing different things for their entertainment and their entertainment dollar. And I think for a lot of families, it wasn't cheap.
Right.
So I think it's a combination of factors. But they said after the pandemic, they've been losing millions of dollars every year.
Well, I mean, what that is it points to the screen impact, right?
I think that's a big thing too.
People engage less in outdoor activities. And I'll just let you know, like, if I'm sitting indoors on my screen all day, I'll say it right now because I do it. I don't want to take my shirt off. Like, I've been sitting at a desk behind a computer screen, and I'm a little doughy. You know what I mean? So maybe there's some folks who's a little more sensitive.
What do you think, though?
I just like, at the very end, you said, you reiterated that since the pandemic, right? Remember, Ursula, during the pandemic, we would always talk about, and we hear the saying, there's going to be a new normal.
Oh, yeah.
It's a new normal.
Yeah.
Right? Like things are, the things we talk about, how we respond and how we act, the pandemic really did a lot. So a lot of the kids are getting their licenses later now, right? They have entertainment. I don't have to go to Wild Waves or to the mall to hang out with my friends. I can hang out with you on FaceTime. Or like Ian and his friends, I could turn the video games on and we could hang out every night playing video games, and we're hanging out. Matter of fact, we're having more fun talking. I don't even know if Ian plays video games, but we're having more fun talking, playing video games than being at the water slide, going down the slide.
Well,
and it's cheaper.
Well, I was going to say, it was an expensive day at the park. But it was a fun day.
It was a fun day.
It was a fun day. And Steve in Puyallup says, as a family, we would always go to Enchanted Village. That part is always forgotten about the Wild Waves Park. That was my favorite part. Enchanted Village and some of those rides, and then discovering food booths that were, kind of hidden back there.
If you were, Ursula, if you were to take like Matthew, little kids today, and you all listening, if you were to take the average kid right now, let's say sweet spot, 9, 10, 11 years old, and you said to them, would you rather have access to a pool every day or access to a screen every day?
Oh, well, of course it would be the screen, because guess what? The pool, you've got to get all ready to go there. Then you got to, get all wet and chlorinated and all that kind of stuff. And the other part is, as Joey points out, it's rainy 9 months out of the year. You can do the screen time anytime, day or night. But with the park, it's not open year round. And then again, I want to bring back that's a huge stretch, swath of property.
And it's a long drive.
It is a long drive.
Traffic's worse.
Yes.
What do you think they're going to put there?
Big buildings, housing.
It's most likely
been kind of like a
mixed-use
no man's
buildings?
land. It was just in between. For me, it was too far. We never went growing up.
Oh, you never went?
I was going to ask Ian, did you ever?
Yep.
It was always like kind of a pie in the sky thing. Like if you're in the crossing guard, you get to go to Wild Waves at the end of the year or something like that, and then it just like never really happened. I don't even want to go now and ruin it, because it's always been like this perfect gem in the sky to me.
Ian, I want you to tell the truth, dog. Did you have a little bitterness towards them because as a kid you didn't get a chance to go?
Yeah, for sure. We'd go camping, we'd go on road trips or something. I'd be like, I want to go to Wild Waves.
I feel that.
Because we drive home right past it, like coming up from the mountain or whatever, and then you drive right past it, and everybody's going down the slide. It looks like fun.
Today, Ursula, today's kids, like my granddaughters, they will never understand the power of a water slide or a pool. The pool is so powerful back in the day, Ursula. I tell you all the time, I went to Disney World. My mama took me to Disney World.
Yeah.
Epcot Center had all of that.
Yeah.
I was like, when can we leave to go back to the pool at the hotel?
Okay.
The hotel pools back in the day used to be like the greatest part of your vacations. If you're listening right now, I'm betting you that your greatest memory when you were a child involved either a lake or a pool. I bet you it did.
Yeah,
that's
mine
how
did,
serious
certainly.
it was.
Yeah. Okay, Laura.
Not if you're a chubby kid. I'm serious. It's phobia, man.
No.
Oh no, pool.
Laura in Pierce County says, Wild Waves the last few years has been going downhill. They will not fix half the rides. The majority of time they're closed. I've had season passes for my son and his friends for the last 3 years. Most of the time, most of the stuff was not running. Yeah, I mean, that I'm remembering in maybe its heyday when my kids were younger, and it was still spendy, but it was just a fun day. I remember a couple of birthdays there. It was a lot of fun. So I'm sad.
One last thing. Can I just tell y'all about the first time that I went to Great Wolf Lodge with my kids?
Word.
I was
that
like,
was the other one. Never went.
Damn, man. But the Great Wolf Lodge, the first time, like, yeah, we're gonna go there. We gotta go. Ursula, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. My kids only been one time.
That's a trip to Hawaii.
Yo. I couldn't do it again.
No offense to folks at Great Wolf Lodge, because I think it's a great time. It's a great time, but you better be ready to spend some money. Now the lodging is so cute.
It's great.
Like the bear dens and all that. I don't know if it's still the same.
My kid's like, okay, can we go again? No.
Dad needs another job.
Man, it was rough.
Oh my gosh.
There's a place. Anybody been to the Birch Bay? Up north.
Oh, yeah.
Birch Bay water slides?
Now that one was a good time with the kids right there.
That was my reward because my grandparents had a cabin up there. My mom grew up going there the whole summer, every summer. We'd spend at least 2 weeks there. And as payment for babysitting my little brother all summer, my parents would get us a ticket to the Birch Bay water slides. And that was a blast. And also the worst sunburns I've ever gotten in my life.
Oh, no. Okay, I'll tell you where they still have water slides that are well attended.
Where?
Lake Chelan.
I was about to say, I went to the ones in Chelan a couple years ago.
Yep.
Really solid spot.
Yes, it's a good time
to spend a half a day.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
that was good, sir. Todd and Burian makes a good point. Now, Todd, I'm with you. Because Todd says that there was never a line at the bathroom.
Where?
Why would that be?
What? Ian, Ursula, why would there not be lines at the bathroom? How come? And if there were,
but see, you would like that, G.
No lines at the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I never went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
No. Never went to the public bathroom. Never peed in the pool either.
Pee in their pool.
Okay, I mean, in all honesty, I was on swim team all throughout high school. Are you kidding me? There were times you could not get out of the pool.
Red-handed.
Wow. Boy, you know what they say about the truth? It never expires.
That was a deep cut. That was a deep cut.
You went deep. Deep end.
6 years ago.
That was good. Ursula is on tape saying, back on the swim team, we never got out the pool.
Keep it a buck.
Hey, agree to disagree next, Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here with more.
24% of businesses are now thinking about leaving Washington.
Traffic.
We are definitely seeing some slowing through the S-curves.
Conversation.
We build it, we produce it, we charge for it.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! Are you kidding me?
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If your idea of a perfect weekend includes a trailhead or maybe a ferry ride or a last-minute escape to Lake Chelan, why not? Say hello to the Subaru Crosstrek. Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership with over 800 Subarus in stock right now. And you can get the 2026 Crosstrek with 1.9% financing for 36 months on approved credit. Now, when I go to Lake Chelan, I'm doing this for you, Tony and Buckley. When I go to Lake Chelan, we take my Subaru Outback. It has been great for us since we purchased it at Carter Subaru in 2016. And I don't need to get a new car just yet because that Subaru has been running so well. And the reason that we have been repeat customers at Carter Subaru is because they know how to treat their customers so well. Go check them out. Carter Subaru is in Ballard, Shoreline, or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 5/31/26.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-9336. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-9336. That's 800-444-9336. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-444-9336.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Kids are full of energy, but keeping them active in their teen years can be a challenge. Aim for an hour of physical activity every day. If they like sports, that's a great place to start. Keep the focus on fun, not winning, and encourage your child to do a variety of activities. If your child isn't meeting that 60-minute goal, gradually increase their activity in ways they enjoy. For more, talk with your pediatrician or visit healthychildren.org.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee.
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Mariners baseball is in full swing, and it's not too late to come on board as a season ticket member. With a Flex plan, you can choose your games and seats as you go. Plus, lock in guaranteed postseason access and no ticket fees. Join today at mariners.com/flex.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gauchard. Tulsi Gabbard says she's resigning from her position as Director of National Intelligence. Her last day in the post will be June 30th. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang has more.
She says that she is resigning and stepping away from public service because her husband has been diagnosed with a rare form of bone cancer. I just want to read to you a portion from her resignation letter. She writes, quote, "My husband Abraham has recently been diagnosed with an extremely rare form of bone cancer. He faces major challenges in the coming weeks and months. I cannot in good conscience ask him to face this fight alone while I continue in this demanding and time-consuming position."
Here in Washington, Seattle police say they're prepared for World Cup security despite staffing limits. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports.
The department lists 861 fully deployable patrol officers. SPD says it will have enough officers to handle the security requirements of the World Cup. Seattle Police Officers Guild President Kent Liu tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM, yes, they will have enough people to keep the event safe, but
some of our big challenges are going to be King County Jail, honestly. And kind of having a place to take people and kind of clean up these streets.
Up to 750,000 visitors are expected during the World Cup. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A Marysville man is accused in a string of mail thefts. Prosecutors say he was seen on surveillance footage recently breaking into a cluster mailbox. Linwood Police Commander Joe Dickinson tells KIRO 7 TV he stole personal information and accessed victims' bank accounts.
He's found more and more victims, upward of 80 to 100, maybe more. We're not sure, right? So because this spans from not just Linwood, Bothell, other agencies, other communities that are affected.
The suspect made his first court appearance yesterday. He's expected to be formally charged this afternoon. Wild Ways Theme Park in Federal Way is closing for good after this season. The park's sales and marketing director, Weston Petrie, says the park kicks off its 50th and final season tomorrow at 11 in the morning.
It's exciting, and it's also a bummer.
It'll run all the way through November, wrapping up with the Fright Fest. Wild Ways has been a summer staple since 1977 when it started as Enchanted Village. He says the park lost millions of dollars in funding during COVID, and rising costs have made it tough to keep it going. And now for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Traffic continues to look pretty clear out there as we head into this Memorial Day weekend. Federal Way to Seattle about 35, Renton to Bellevue 25 minutes, Everett to Seattle 46, and Linwood to Bellevue about 60 minutes right now. And for your forecast, the sunshine continues. Expect warm temperatures throughout the entire weekend. Right now, it's 67 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is a fresh Friday, and we sure appreciate you hanging out with us on the Gee and Ursula Show. Want to make a quick mention because we were talking about Birch Bay water slides, Gee, and a couple of our listeners who are familiar with the park up north say it's not open for the 2026 season, and sure enough, it's true.
Wow.
Because a guest was injured, apparently got some severe cuts on his foot and leg, and sued the park's owner. This is back in 2024. And that lawsuit is still ongoing. And so they have basically, there's a new owner and they're making renovations, but it's not going to be open for the season.
Well, I can't wait to head up there. I'm heading towards that way tomorrow.
Oh, what?
And I'm going to stop off at Drayton Harbor Oyster Company.
Oh, yes, up in Blaine.
Oh man,
That's a good spot.
them oysters are good. But I'm heading up to Vancouver, BC.
I love that city. Okay, it is time for us to agree to disagree. Brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Gee, why you got to be bringing that up before lunch? Like, all I'm thinking now about is grilled oysters.
You know what time it is, Ian, right now, right?
Lunch o'clock.
11:35.
Ursula got it. Ursula, y'all know it's lunch o'clock. All right, what's happening?
All right. I got to bring this back up. We mentioned this in brief earlier in the show, but major Seattle street closing this weekend to cars. And every weekend this summer, Lake Washington Boulevard is going to be vehicle restricted every weekend through Labor Day. It's been open on Sundays prior, brief period where it was closed to cars every weekend. But the long story short, there's already 23 new speed cushions on this street. Activists want it permanently closed to cars. It's shut on weekends, Ursula. Does this go too far to close a major thoroughfare?
Yes, it does. Have you looked at the traffic, especially now all around there because of all the construction, Ship Canal Bridge, all of it? It's just a nightmare. And then to try to throw that again for the very few people who are regular bike commuters. Some people were questioning our figures. Those are the city's own figures when they said 3%, I believe, right?
When it comes to bike commuting?
Bike commuting, yes. But we're talking about bike users and just pedestrians, et cetera.
This is not for commuters. This is for pleasure riders.
This is for pleasure riders now, exactly. I love the concept, but we can't afford it right now. There are other places that are beautiful. Burke Gilman Trail, that's exactly what you have there. I'm a no.
Do I need to ask, G?
This is Lake Washington Boulevard. I'm a no on making it a permanent thing so that people can so that you don't have cars on there at all.
Oh, no. But see, hold on. You know how them bike folks are. You know what I'm saying? Or,
You said that, well, they're very protective they're very passionate.
So, look, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm going to go hide, and I'm going to shut the text line down. I'm with Ursula. I'm a no.
Out of all the constituencies that we have in this region, from the people who are on bikes to, apartment dwellers, homeowners, people who do dressage with their horses, it's the bike people you're most scared of, G.
Yeah.
Why?
Man, I don't know, but it is.
It's their passion.
You're like,
It's their
I
passion.
don't want to touch that topic.
Ursula, you told me not to say names anymore. Like who the name, who be
Yeah.
driving the bike,
Yes.
riding the bike.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Another topic I want to revisit from this week. So currently, the sensors in your cars can tell you whether you are suffering from early cognitive decline. This is something that researchers at the University of Florida found out, looking at about 4,000 senior drivers tracked over time. And it turns out how fast you accelerate, how hard you brake, whether you're hesitant or not, those can be reliably linked to early cognitive decline. Ursula, we're approaching the point where a car can basically spit out a health report on you. Should anyone know but you? Because insurance companies get this information. No one but you.
I want it just to be for me.
What about partner?
Only with my permission.
What if you opted in 10 years ago?
If I opted in 10 years ago?
Yeah, and then you're going through it now.
Oh.
Because you might say that now, but 40-year-old person might just be like, oh, yeah, tell my partner
it doesn't.
anything.
Usually that cognitive decline happens over time, not overnight, unless I really had some serious injury. So I would still go with, I would want to have control over who gets that information.
G?
Yeah. I think it's the most fair way to assess what your insurance premium is. It's the most fair way.
Yeah.
But I know most people won't agree with it because the most fair way isn't the most lucrative way. It's kind of like the tax code in our country. We all know what would be the most fair way, but the reason why we stay away from the fair way is because we want a little complicated way so it can be more lucrative for some in this country. So, yes, I am for that. I think that is the most fair way. But this will be a way for a lot of people to save. Because truth be told, I believe that we have more people on the road that should not be. They shouldn't be on the road.
So who do you want to have that access to that information of your cognitive decline?
The insurance folks.
Oh.
That way we know.
They're going to jack up your rates.
You mean make it so it's unaffordable to drive?
Yes.
So if they make it, so let's say your rate is this, G's rate is $750 a month because it comes back that his driving is terrible. Ursula's premium is $200 a month because it comes back that your driving is great. I'm trying to see where there's any argument with that. I mean, who should be on the roads?
How do you interpret the data? Who interprets the data?
I mean, it's one thing to say, hey, you live in this zip code, right? And because a higher number of vehicles are stolen, you're more of a risk to the company. I think that, while that may be true, your actual driving behavior that your insurance company records is going to be a heck of a lot more accurate in predicting who's going to be involved in a serious collision or a minor collision and who's a real liability than the data they use right now. I think the problem is that we are a country that does not have the infrastructure to kick people out of their cars. It would have such a devastating financial impact on people and on businesses and communities. Like, who's going to carry these people around? Like, we don't have public transportation.
Especially
that
if
serves everyone.
If it's old people who are all getting kicked out of their cars, like they're just going to be stuck at home. Like half of what old people, like what my grandma would do is just drive around and like go visit her friends in other towns and stuff. And when we took her keys away, she would still try and go drive other places because otherwise she was just bored.
Isolated. Yeah. Social isolation.
Something to think about.
I guess we'll take it in the risk pool.
All right, Ursula, coming up next, it's time for these good old text messages, feedback, and then we'll have the words to live by. Gee and Ursula.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up. And for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
I need an AC tune-up, and one room isn't comfortable.
We could do both. And if it's time to upgrade, get a free furnace with a qualifying cooling system. Plus, we help maximize rebates.
Get a tune-up or free estimate at cmheating.com. CMHEA HL751LW.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
Hartley Wilcox here. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you are what you eat. And everyone knows eggs are an incredible source of natural protein and omega-3. But have you ever stopped to think about what the hens eat to make the eggs great tasting and even healthier to eat? At Wilcox Farms, we believe in nature-first nutrition. Our hens enjoy pasture access and a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. That means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for you and your family. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs, you're investing in real nutrition and real value. Because healthy hens make healthy eggs, and healthy eggs make healthy, happy families. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Learn more at wilcoxfarms.com. Wilcox Farms, where better eggs begin with better care. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Get more baseball for your buck with Mariners Value Options. Tickets for less than $12 to select games all season and the biggest ever value menu and beer lineup, featuring 36 items and available every game. Check it out at mariners.com/value.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Jazz Alley invites you to 4 nights with blood, sweat, and tears. Classic hits and big horn horns live on stage. May 21st through 24th, tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Monty Alexander, May 28th through 31st.
My name is Skip, and Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland helped me with my small business administration loan. With her help, I was able to keep my small business open, and she can help you too. Please contact Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's office at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov for help. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, everybody. It's Happy Fresh Fridays. And it's lunch o'clock. Ursula, this text messages. What you got?
Okay, well, we've got a bunch on Flex Friday. Lori in the 206 says, Flex, the days with one bar are active recovery days, meaning I got 10,000 steps, but no weightlifting or cardio workouts. Menopause is killing me, but I have lost 1.5 pounds in the last 3 weeks by only eliminating the random sugary snack from the front desk candy dish, or mindlessly popping a couple of milk duds in my mouth here and there. I don't have a lot to lose, but I feel better, 5 pounds lighter. It is such a mind game.
I love what Alan on Mercer Island says. Ursula, workouts aren't just for weight loss. They are for overall health, muscle health, and heart health, not to mention mental health. Alan,
so
you
true.
nailed that, my bro.
Thank you so much for mentioning that. So true. And always appreciate all the words of support. New federal EV taxes. Kevin in Black Diamond says, which one is it? Do they want taxes or do they want a clean environment? I think they want both.
John in Bremerton says EV drivers should be charged more. Their vehicle do more damage to the roads than gas cars because their batteries make the cars weigh more than gas cars that are the same size. I didn't even get into the topic of how heavy these EV cars are. Go ahead, Ursula.
Kay in Freeland says, usage should be a factor for EVs. I've had my EV 8 years and I've only used 36,000 miles. Also, we're already charged more in our annual registration for road maintenance by the state.
Kay, if there's one thing your dog is learning, people don't want fair. ABC News taking over for CBS 206 says, it was weird. I turned in at the moment things changed and wondered why my station was not tuned in correctly.
Gloria in Seattle says, change is hard. I heard the change at the top of the hour and was surprised because I was expecting CBS the entire day. We'll all get used to it eventually, but right now, I don't like it. I get it. It's just weird. Fair.
Shard at 360 says, CBS News broadcasting via KIRO Radio has something that's been a part of my entire life, 63 years. My father would have KIRO Radio on constantly. The top and bottom of the hour jingle was my early understanding of the passage of 30 minutes. I hated it when the jingle changed periodically, and I still do. As today arrived, my heart and mind are heavy. As the adage says, time marches on becomes a reality.
On scenarios, the guy I'm dating has 5 kids by 3 wives. 360 says, 5 kids with 3 different women means that either he is lousy at picking or they are a very bad apple.
Ursula, real quick, is it adage?
Adage.
That's what I thought. Go ahead. Oh, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you'll look at something and then you go, wait a minute, I said that all wrong.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes.
And one thing I have no problem saying, hey, did I get that wrong?
Yes.
But the HVAC guy says, I don't really care for your statement, Chef. I am a male with 5 kids, 3 different partners, and 3 of my children are the same mother. I just made some poor choices as a young adult. I'm fully active in all of my children's lives.
On repealing the CCA, Chef Max says, imagine if we woke up next week and gas was $1 cheaper. How much would that help families? I think for some families it would be really helpful, actually.
Ursula, we got a guest.
We sure do. Hi, Paul.
Hello. How's everyone going on this Flex Fresh Friday?
It's good. It's good. So Ursula and I, of course, 947, we talk about Flex Fridays, and you're going to talk about something that Ursula has been saying, so you're going to actually co-sign on what she's been saying. Talk to us. What's
I was
happening?
considering an electric bike.
Yeah.
And people were like, you're not going to get exercise on that.
I have now hit 180 days riding my bike according to my little app. I'm going to be hitting 2,000 miles on the bike next week. And while it's it might not be the same as getting that full bike and having to do it all, I'm riding 11 and a half miles a day or so.
That's incredible.
When I look at my phone and I have my little movement tracker, I'm probably burning a few hundred calories just doing that. So that's on top of walking the dog every day, going to the gym. I don't miss driving at all, and I certainly don't miss paying $6 a gallon for gas.
I'm not trying to ask you and get in your business, but Paul, you do look slimmer now than you did a year ago.
And I will say a little bit of that too. Trying to cut out the small stuff too. One of the texters was saying that cut out a couple of can of soda, trying to cut out those things.
Oh my gosh,
adds
so
up.
awesome.
Yeah, small things. But
and can we take credit for you really being on this whole Flex Friday?
Hey, I remember being here when I was filling in when we did this. So yeah, absolutely. And I'm. Don't let anyone tell you you're not going to get a good workout in.
I love it.
Because like I said, 11 miles at minimum a day. And today on a nice day like this, I'm going to take an extra long way.
What do you have to say to the chefs of the world? We've got about 10 seconds. Chefs of the world to say that's cheating.
Hey, I'm still doing it. I'm out there. I'm moving. I'm grooving. Better than nothing, right?
I never said that was cheating. How dare you? I said robot legs were cheating when you're hiking.
Thanks, man. Ursula, it's time for the good old words to live by. What you got for today?
Well, just a reminder that we want to live life to the fullest. This is an Albert Einstein quote. You have to color outside the lines once in a while if you want to make your life a masterpiece. Laugh every day. Keep growing. Keep dreaming. Keep following your heart. The important thing is to never stop questioning.
Fantastic. That's a very fantastic one. The way to end the week. I love that one. Ursula, have a great weekend.
Love you.
Yeah,
and have a great weekend.
No doubt. Chef, have a good one. Good brother. Hey, Ian, thank you so much for filling in. You got any big plans this weekend, bro?
I don't think so. Just hanging out, enjoying the holiday. I'm off Monday, so I'm staying home, chilling.
Come on now. There we go.
Lay out in the sun a little bit.
Yeah, I can't relate. Appreciate it. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show. The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. Listen, y'all have a great weekend. We'll be back on Tuesday. All right. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Honoring the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. This Memorial Day weekend, while celebrating with friends and loved ones, take a few moments to remember and reflect that we remain the home of the free because of the brave. Reverently celebrating Memorial Day with you, we are KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
The Harnish Auto Family Super Sale is happening right now. The cost of living has gone up, but when buying a car, it doesn't have to feel like it. Zero down delivers, no payments all summer, and exclusive 10-day deals in partnership with TAPCO Credit Union. With a wide selection of new vehicles and over 400 used vehicles across 5 dealerships, you'll find just what you're looking for. Visit Subaru, Volkswagen, and Chevy Buick GMC of Puyallup or Kia and Chevy of Everett. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
Offers available OAC on select models. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call